Hi, my cute kiddos. I hope everybody's doing good. Today I have a book for you called Mr. Seahorse by Eric Carle. I love the way Eric Carle does his illustrations. And this book I think you might like. It's kind of interesting because it's talking about the way different fish and sea creatures lay their eggs. And there's also a lot about the kind of things that these creatures do to camouflage themselves. So I thought you might like this. This is Mr. Seahorse. Look at all those cute, cool seahorses. Look. Mr. and Mrs. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea. Mrs. Seahorse began to wiggle and twist this way and that. Why do you think she's wiggling and twisting? Do you know? It's time for me to lay my eggs, she said. Can I help? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Oh, yes, thank you, said Mrs. Seahorse, and she laid her eggs into a pouch on Mr. Seahorse's belly. I'll take good care of our eggs, said Mr. Seahorse. I promise. Did you know that's what seahorses do? The mommy puts the eggs into the daddy's pouch. That's kind of different, huh? As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. Do you see anything there? What's he passing by? Check it out. Something's camouflaged. He passed right by a group of trumpet fish hidden in a patch of reeds. Did you guys see the trumpet fish there? Look, you can barely see them, can you? Wow, that's cool. They're camouflaged. Just one page here. Okay. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Stickleback? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Delighted, replied Mr. Stickleback. I just built a nest, and right away Mrs. Stickleback laid her eggs into it. Now I'm taking good care of them until they hatch. Keep up the good work, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Look at this kind of fish, a stickleback. Look at what they do. He made a nest for all the babies, all the eggs, for them to hatch. I didn't know that. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. You guys see anything? What's hiding in those? He passed right by what? A lionfish hidden behind a coral reef. Did you see him back there? Look, he was camouflaged by all his coloring, and he's hiding in that coral reef. I can't even see him, can you? That lionfish is camouflaged. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. How are you, Mr. Tilapia? Asked Mr. Seahorse. Mr. Tilapia couldn't answer. His mouth was full of eggs. I know, said Mr. Seahorse. Mrs. Tilapia laid her eggs. Now you are taking good care of them until they hatch. Mr. Tilapia nodded his head. You must be very happy, said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Look at all the little eggs that he's got in his mouth. That's a crazy place to keep the eggs, isn't it? That's how the tilapias do it, apparently. As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by. What's hiding in those reeds? Do you see anything in the seaweed? He passed right by a pair of leaf fish hidden among the seaweed. Did you see them? Now I can't even see Mr. Seahorse, but look. They blend right into the seaweed because they're the same colors, huh? That's called camouflage. Wow, that's cool. And before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Curtis?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Perfectly fine," replied Mr. Curtis. "Mrs. Curtis laid her eggs, and I have stuck them on my head." "What?" "Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch." Look at the eggs up on his head. That's kind of weird, huh? "You are doing a good job," said Mr. Seahorse, and swam on his way. Hey, he's swimming upside down, isn't he? These sea creatures do lots of crazy things, don't they? As Mr. Seahorse drifted gently through the sea, he passed right by... What? Do you guys see anything? All I see is a rock. Do you see anything? He passed right by a stonefish hidden behind a rock. Whoa. Look at how well he blends in with that stone. That's why he's called a stonefish, I bet. Look at that. Can't even see him back there. There he is. But before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Pipe?" "What?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Couldn't be better," replied Mr. Pipe. "Mrs. Pipe laid her eggs along my belly." Do you see him? Wow, he carries them on his belly. "Now I am taking good care of them until they hatch." "You should feel proud of yourself," said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Look at Mr. Seahorse's belly. Is it looking bigger? Sometimes like our mommy's bellies when they have a baby growing inside? But this is a daddy with the baby growing inside in the seahorses. And the daddy taking care of these eggs in the pipefish. Let's see. Oh, but before long, Mr. Seahorse met another fish. "How are you, Mr. Bullhead?" asked Mr. Seahorse. "Tip-top," replied Mr. Bullhead. "Mrs. Bullhead laid her eggs, and the eggs hatched. Now I'm babysitting." "You are doing a fine job," said Mr. Seahorse, and he swam on his way. Look at all the little fish, all the little babies that hatched. That's what fish call when a baby's born. They call it hatching from the eggs. The time had come for the seahorse babies to be born. Mr. Seahorse wiggled and twisted this way and that. At last, the babies tumbled from Mr. Seahorse's pouch and swam away. One baby turned around and tried to come back into the pouch. "Oh no," said Mr. Seahorse, "I do love you, but now you are ready to be on your own." Look at all the cute little baby seahorses. Did you know that's the way they are born? Their mommy puts them in the daddy's pouch, and then the babies come out of the daddy's pouch after he keeps them safe and warm for a long time. Isn't that cool? The end. Now you know a little more about seahorses and some other ocean creatures. I love you. Bye.